Okay. So, as I told you guys before, I used to, I worked at a pizzeria for a little while, right? And, um, yeah, I really enjoyed the work there. And sometimes, living in Thailand, I feel like having some pizza, right? So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys how to make a little pizza. Easy pizza if you have an oven inside of Thailand. Easy pizza, basically. Basically, I've already fermented my dough. So the dough has been sitting there for 2 days, actually, right? So that's 2 days dough. It's probably perfectly fermented. You use olive oil to cover it with olive oil so that it doesn't dry out. So like you don't get like a hard crust or anything like that. You don't want that. Then what you're gonna do is you take it out and you put on you use the pan from the you use the pan from your oven. Okay. Next thing you want to do is, since we're not doing like a pizza circle, we're doing a pizza in a pan. Get yourself some kind of a roller. This is a very handy roller. And what you want to do is, when I made a mistake, I put away the flour when I shouldn't have put the flour away because we're still using flour. What you do is you want to sprinkle a little bit of the flour on top of your thing, right? Because now what we're going to do, we're going to go through the process of flattening out our dough, basically. So basically, what we want to do, and this is a lot of dough, right? This is will be a real thick one, right? We want to flatten it out, and hopefully, we want to fill it up so that it's like a full square, right? So what we want to keep flipping it, right? Get some more flour. Sprinkle that on, and the reason you do that is because you don't want this to stick to your roller, right? All right, so you're rolling it out like that. You see it's getting nice and flat, like that, but it's still very thick, right? So, in order to make it keep it like well. Spread out, you kind of want to flip it, keep doing it from different angles, right? And here, I could even put a little more flour on top of here. It's just fine. It's not like, all right, so we got a nice little bit of flour on there. And now, I want to make this perfect, right? Or as perfect as I can do. Like that. Now, flatten this out. Really, almost the dough process is really almost over, right? Like I said, we had already, mixed our dough mixture with water, flour, double O flour, right? And yeast, a pinch of salt, and here's something that you never want to forget. And this is actually probably one of the most important things when you are making your pizza dough. You want to go in and you want to put olive oil. You have to put olive oil inside of your dough when you make it. It changes the whole thing if you don't put any olive oil. Every pizzeria I ever worked in, you put olive oil inside of the dough. It creates that texture and also taste. It's incredibly important for making pizza. So that's what you want to do. You want to put olive oil. I know olive oil costs a little bit of money, but let me tell you something. It's worth every baht, every penny that you use to put that olive oil in. And I still have a second trick to show you with olive oil, right? Because we're not done. We're not done yet with the dough, right? So get a nice wide surface. The wider your surface, obviously, the more you can make. The more slices, more pizza you can give to people, for your family or for yourself or whatever, because that's always nice, right? You always want to be a good provider for your family. So you make as much space as you want. And you don't, some people really enjoy a thick crust. I don't personally enjoy a thick crust, and I happen to know that my family members here also don't particularly enjoy a thick crust. Okay, so now we're seeing basically the formation of that's going to be, this is basically like our canvas, like like an art canvas. But I have a second trick that we're going to do, and this trick is to actually use more olive oil. Right, I want to use more olive oil. Just kind of like spread it out. I haven't spread it out a little bit like that, right? That's probably too much, but it's all right. You can, it's forgiving when you're cooking. Remember, there's no like absolute thing. When you cook, if you don't follow the instructions, you might make the best thing ever. You never know. There's no actual, it's not like your mechanics or anything like that. It's more of an art. And art is like, basically how you do it. And sometimes you make mistakes. That didn't turn out to be a mistake, but here was the trick is to flip it when you have the olive oil. Boom, like that. And there's a reason why I do that. That's the secret. And I'll tell you why. Not because I'm afraid that it would burn, will stick to the pan. That's not the reason. Is that we have a conventional oven. I don't know if you can see it, right? That's our oven right there, right? So in our conventional oven, right, generally what happens is there's no ventilation on the pan. So the heat is going to be coming up. So what's going to happen is that olive oil that's on the bottom is going to fry, like do a little bit of frying for us on the underside of the crust, and that's absolutely. Let me tell you something. I think I like it like that. I like. Some people use, and I love it when the pizzerias use polenta or something like that, which is like made out of corn, like a cornmeal. And that's absolutely delicious when they do that. But I'm going to show you another thing. For home, this is just cheap home pizza making, right? Basically, cheap home pizza making. I'm going to show you the next thing we're going to do, right? So, generally speaking, when you go to a pizzeria and you want to get a pizza and stuff like that, they do not put on heaps and heaps of Valley 2025. What's up, brother or sister? How you doing? How's everything? Thank goodness you're here. God bless you, and may you be happy and be blessed with good health and happiness. Anyway, so if you leave the dough alone for a little bit, it will shrink up on you, right? So you want to make sure get that nice canvas of your painting, because this is going to be my painting. I'm painting a picture, right? So now next thing is we're pretty much done with the roller. But what we want to get is a knife and a cutting board. Get that out ready. I should have had that out already, but whatever's clever. You know what I mean? We're gonna get it done. Secondly, is so like I was saying about like pizzerias and their pasta sauce and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, like most pizzerias don't go through great lengths to make their pasta sauce, and I am not either. So I went and I bought this pasta sauce. You know, it's you know cheap, and what we're gonna do is spread it around a little bit. Basically, generally, like pizzas, like pizzerias in the United States, what they do is they don't put an awful lot of pasta sauce on there, and you really don't want to put a lot of pasta sauce on there. The reason for that is because number one, it's not cost effective. Number two is it takes longer to cook and stuff like that. But there are people who order extra sauce, and so you do it for them like that. I mean, this is about the amount of pasta sauce I want on my pizzas. But what we got to do is we got to get a spoon. And I got a spoon, and this is just amazing. The power just went out. Oh boy. It'll come back on. That's all right. It happens all the time. Not all the time, but like sometimes power goes out. But that's not going to make us or break us, because we're not even ready. I was just heating the oven up to make it hot. Make it put it in nice and hot. So basically, here's what the thing is that you want to get this pasta sauce covering pretty much every centimeter of your canvas of your dough, right? So you see how that's coming along, right? You want to even get it up to the edges, all the way to the edges, all the way around. I might have to put a little bit more on to actually, because pasta sauce by itself is pretty acidic, right? So because it's acidic, what will happen is it has a a pretty strong flavor to it, right? So yeah, I know the power went out. I had the oven on, but I think that we're okay with the phones, right? Okay, and so then we have a little bit extra there, right? So spread it out, right? Spread out like that. Now look at this. We got our whole. That's our canvas. So and if you're an artist, you know every canvas has to have back painting. So basically, that's the back painting of our canvas, right? Boom, we're done with that. And now the best part about this is when you're in the kitchen, you get to lick the back of the spoon and nobody knows. Ugh. You see? I licked it. Now, we're lucky so we don't have to rush. So this is good because the power did go out. So we're just going to prepare it and it'll be ready to go in the oven. And by the way, a lot of pizzerias and stuff like that in the United States, they'll have their pizzas already and stuff like that already, just like we're doing now, because they want to have it prepared and ready for when customers come in. But we're doing this. This is home style, easy, delicious food you can make for very, very low cost. But we're gonna spice it up a little bit now. How we're gonna spice it up? We got an onion. Hey, look, onions have a nice flavor. The best thing about an onion is its flavor. I don't think they have much nutritional value. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't think they have much nutritional value. Now, I'm not going to cut it at the root yet because I don't want it to fall apart, right? I could do something like this. I could score it, and I think that's what I'm going to do this time. I'm going to score it and take off the husk, right? Normally when I do it, I just cut the rings and then I take off the husk by itself. But that's like if I'm sort of like rushing. But we have plenty of time now because the power went out, right? So We're not rushing. Boom. Got that. And let me tell you something. For all you people out there, so you see what we're doing? So all you people out there who have families and stuff like that, like kids to feed and stuff like that, this is easy and cheap to do. And it's better than Domino's Pizza or any Pizza Hut or whatever garbage, pizza ordering you're going to do. Do this for and you'll get a sense of satisfaction too. So now what we're going to do is the score, and I'm not holding it like the chefs do. You got to use the crow hold. If you ever work in a restaurant, you know that if you're tested on your knife skills, you cannot get a job in any decent restaurant without holding your knife correctly, and you're using the claw handle because number one, they don't want you to cut yourself. I get I suppose, right? Because then they gotta find another cook in the middle of the cooking session. It's not because they care about you. Believe you me, it's not because they care. Oh my God, you got cut or anything like that. No, they've got to keep the business running. So if you're in your middle of your shift and they've got a whole bunch of customers and stuff like that, and you get cut, now all of a sudden they lost their cook. All right, this is the truth. I'm telling you, I'm dropping the truth right now. They lost their cook, and they're going to lose a lot of money because it's not very easy to get a cook on the spot. And most people who own restaurants and pizzerias, they have done it in the past. Like they probably even start out as like a pizzeria real, or somebody who makes pizza, a pizza maker. They probably start out and they know, but like a lot of times what they want to do as like pizzeria owners and stuff like that, they don't even want to be there. A lot of people don't want to be where, be at work. They want to do other things. So like once they get a guy or a gal who's good enough to make the pizza, they're like, fantastic, great. The business will run itself basically, and it does, hey, opening a pizzeria is not the stupidest thing in the world. I'll tell you that much, because there is money to be made in pizza, but we're not trying to make any money right now. All we're trying to do is make a tasty little treat for ourselves for today. It doesn't cost much money, and it's fairly easy to make. I mean, if you really wanted to go easy, you could make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I guess. Okay, so now we have the onion, right? One onion is plenty, right? We're going to clean as we go because that's the way to go. Okay, now, second trick coming up. Well, actually, the third trick. The third trick is coming up. And that is every Italian food that I like tastes better with garlic. So let's get us some garlic. All right, we're gonna get a little bit of garlic. We got how many cloves of garlic here? Well, I'm gonna say more than one. That's one piece of garlic. Well, that's not a clove, right? This is the whole thing is a clove, right? And a piece is I don't know what they call a piece, but anyway, that's two pieces. That's not gonna be enough. Let's get another one. That's three pieces, and I don't think that's enough. So let's go to let's use it all. Let's use it all. It wasn't a full clove anyway, and hey, man, garlic's delicious. Ugh. Yeah, we get out the small stuff though. That's like kind of a nuisance. Get the thing out there. Now, how many pieces did we get? 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pieces. All right. Now, if you count this, this could be used too. 6. We got 6 pieces. All right. Take it over to your chopping block. Cut off cut the head off, right? And all you gotta do is take the knife like this, flat down and like this, and go, bam. You almost don't even have to chop it up anymore because it's once you do that, it's chopped already, right? We're gonna cut the top off. Make sure it's there. You take a knife here and you just go, bam, and you smash it, right? So now you have smashed garlic. Very tasty. All right, again, cut the head off. Smash. Smash, smash, smash. All right, now another one. Take the head off, and boom, like that. What you have to remember about garlic, though, is garlic. The liquid in the garlic is very sticky. So a lot of times your the husks of your garlics and stuff like that might stick out. But I can tell we don't have any husks on ours right here. Okay, so we're gonna do it like that. Oh, another thing you want to do is, and this just came up, you want to check your garlic, right? And if you see something like that, and that happens a whole lot, it gets like a little brown spot, like that's basically decay. But you can just cut that off and use the rest, and that's what I do. So you always want to kind of look at your garlic as you're doing it, because even if you bought like what looks like a brand new piece of garlic from the store, I guarantee you you're gonna find those brown marks, and that's decomposing garlic. All right. So anyway, now cut the head off. That's a little bit smash it. Boom. Now, so basically, what we've done now, right, is we were pretty careful. We got rid of the. No, we don't want that piece. We got rid of the decomposing piece of garlic, but we also got rid of all the husks. So, and also we smashed our garlic, right? So our garlic comes pre-smashed, right? Take a look at that. Pre-smashed except for this piece here. And all we're going to do is chop it up a little bit. Very simple. You don't have to go buy any expensive cookingware or cooking machines or anything like that. You just go, like this, chop it up. Because if it's already been pretty much smashed, right? And so you just gotta chop it up, chop it up, chop it up, chop, 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 chop it up, chop it up, chop it up, chop it up. I don't want to go too fast because I don't want to try to rush and maybe cut my finger or something like that or whatever. And we don't have we're not really under any time limit or anything like that, so I won't come in here and show you just how quick and efficient the smash technique for garlic is. There are, by the way, for all of you guys watching and gals watching, when they say there's more than one way to skin a cat, it's really true. You can really peel garlic and chop garlic many different ways. But to me, this is enough chopped. I like a little bit of crunch of garlic when I have it. So basically we have here chopped garlic. The husks are over there. This is the refuse. We're going to put that in the garbage or the composter, something like that, right? But right now, I'm going to put the camera down, and then we're going to go back over to our canvas, right? Over here we have the other pieces of garlic husk and stuff like that. These things, they fly around all over the place. So you kind of have to be a little aware of that. But one of the best ways to get your garlic off the chopping board is not by picking it up with your hands. Really, what you want to do is you want to take your knife, right? Let me get a little bit closer. You take your knife and you get yourself a nice little thing. The reason why, there's a reason for that. The reason why is if you pick it up by your hand, first of all, like I said before, garlic is very sticky, right? And you'll never get, well, you might, but whatever. I've found that it's very much easier. You just put it on the knife like this, And then now you're going to go over to your Picasso, right? And basically, carefully, you don't want to dump it all at once, right? You want to spread out your garlic, right? Because that's how it tastes better, right? All right, you want to like get it over there, right. Look for spots where you don't have any. Make sure that you get that taste, and you just slowly and carefully take the garlic off the knife, right? You know, and what's going to happen here is because we put our pasta sauce on and our vegetables on first there's a very good reason for this. Right, let me get the rest of this garlic on there first. Right, I got the garlic. I'm gonna spread that out nice and evenly, and it's gonna nice and crispy garlic. Then the reason it's gonna get crispy, and the reason the onions are gonna get cooked nice and everything like that, is because you cannot put your cheese on first. Well, you can't. And I know when you work in a pizzeria, and believe me, I worked in, I don't know, 4 or 5 pizzerias in my life. We always made the pizza, and it was always easy to put the cheese on and put it in the put it in the oven. Like some places have a coal oven, some other places have the other kind of like pizza oven and stuff like that. But when you're cooking at home, the temperature inside of your oven can never ever get to the temperature that it gets in a proper pizza oven, especially in a coal oven, because when you have one of those and you're working at a pizzeria there, the Fahrenheit of that pizzeria is literally 700 degrees or higher, right? And so what that means is when you put your pizza in with the cheese on top, everything cooks so fast and comes to a crisp so fast that that you can do it. But we have here a conventional oven, and the temperature supposedly gets up to 500 degrees, and that's not hot enough where you can put your pizza in with your makings and stuff like that on top and the cheese at the same time. So it's a 2-step process. So let's just start cleaning up a little bit. And hopefully the electric is going to come back on real quick. There's no circuit breakers over here or anything like that we can flip. So it's out of our control. But generally, this is how you make the best homemade pizza. Literally, you could put on, if I wanted, like for example, if I wanted to, and maybe I'll even do that. I could put shrimp on here. I could put chopped up ham. I could put sausage on there. I could put whatever I want on there. And so I'm thinking, should I decorate it? Should I? Who's that? Somebody says something. No piece is no piece is a clove. Right. Oh, okay. But what? No piece is a clove. Right. The whole thing is a clove. But I wanted to know what like one piece of the clove was called. I don't know. Anyway, so what are we making here? We're making pizza. This is home pizza, right? Who said this? Starlight's Zen Space. Hello, Starlight Zen Space, and I hope you're doing well wherever you are, and I hope you're happy and content, and you are happy and healthy, as I wish that for everybody always. And I hope that the same for myself. So now, I could put something else on here if I wanted to make it even more tasty. I think I might. What do you think, baby? Should we put some ham on there, or should we just leave it vegetarian? What do you think? What do you think? You make the decision.
I don't know. I'm gonna have my shrimp.
Oh, you're gonna eat your shrimp. Well, you enjoy your shrimp. That looks fine for you, but I'm making pizza. Okay, so now that's my wife. She has a bunch of shrimp. She won't even give me one piece of shrimp. Can you believe that? I'm just joking. She would give me shrimp anytime I want, but at the moment I don't want any shrimp, and basically that's the story. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's another thing about cooking which I really want to emphasize as being important, right? And that is when you're cooking, whether you're cooking at home or if you're cooking in a restaurant or something like that, your life will be made so much easier if you abide by this simple rule. And that is, here's the pizza sauce again, right? I'm putting that in the fridge right now. And I'll tell you what that is. When you're cooking, your life will be so much easier, so much happier if you clean as you go. Because it's so much easier, like you just clean up as you go. But it's rather than like you take out all the kitchenware and stuff like that, and you're like cooking, and then after you're done cooking, you look over and you see you have a pile, just a big pile of dishes and knives and cutting boards and surfaces to clean and stuff like that. And if you clean as you go, because you have time, people waste time all the time. If you're economical with your time, then you can then then you can you know uh, then you can have your cleaning done before the food is ready, even before the food is ready. And who likes to? I can guarantee you, every single one of you out there probably, if you cook, I guarantee that you like to eat your food before you do your cleaning. But if you do your cleaning before you eat, because you're doing your cleaning as you cook, your life will be so much more happy. And I'm going to show you. Look at it. I mean, we're almost done cleaning. Can you imagine this? Everything almost clean already. Basically, the only thing I got to do is I'm going to take this. This I have to wash. Oh, my wife just gave me a shrimp with ah. Mmm, with nam jim tale. Let's try for seafood sauce. Absolutely delicious. Okay, I'm gonna take you guys over to see that because it really is delicious. People want to see this, right? So this is how Thai people make their food, and they use this. Oh yeah, hold on a second. Nam chim tale, right? Nam chim tale, nah?
Namจิ้ม seafood, yeah.
Nam chim seafood, yeah. So this, and they cook their shrimp, and then they put this and really, in all cooking, the sauce is the king or queen, right? Anyway, so that's what she's doing. Anyway, back over to our canvas, or back over to show you this, because I wanted to show you this. Your roller has to be washed. The reason why is because we put olive oil on it. And so there is a bit debris, like I don't know if you want to call it debris, but like pieces of flour and stuff like that. And these are things, that you want to clean off. Then you want to take your knife and your thing. Generally when you carry your cutting board and your knife, all right, but see, the electric's on now. Everything's good. You want to hold it something like this. This way you can't kill yourself by I can't even say that. You can't accidentally hurt yourself. You're safe, right? So that's important. It might not seem important, but it's very important. So I'm going to quickly wash off the surfaces that I used, right? And we don't need the knife anymore, so we just clean that. That's nice. Easy to clean, But when you stack them all up together at the end of cleaning, it becomes like a whole big ordeal and stuff like that. Nobody wants that. Anyway. That's nice and clean. Now, for the last bit, and unfortunately today, I don't think we have all that much of it, but that's okay, because it's not like absolutely essential to have like massive amounts of cheese. What happened? Why is it like that?
I'm sorry.
What happened?
I don't know. Ah.
All right. So, as I was saying, it's not absolutely essential to have, you know, a lot of cheese. I mean, personally, I love a lot of cheese, but I didn't plan ahead, and this is all the mozzarella that we have left. I used to make mozzarella, you know, years ago, but and it tastes much better, by the way, than this. But making mozzarella is a real process. I mean, it's like takes time. You got to boil water. You got to get milk. You got to get what's it called? What's that thing that you put it in there? I forget the name. And if you were really smart, you wouldn't have washed your cutting board and your knife before you took frozen mozzarella out. So now I got to get that. I got to get that knife and cutting board again. But that's okay. Nothing to be too upset about, or upset at all about, because hey, that's what it is. Life. Sometimes life gets in the way of life. All right, so we have this thing. It's really frozen through. And by the way, this is probably the most dangerous part of this whole operation that we're doing today, would be cutting frozen cheese. Because when you're cutting frozen objects, obviously, that is when your knife can slip. Because you have a lot of resistance. Resistance with water makes ice, and everybody knows ice is slippery. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have good pressure on the back of our blade. And really what we want to do is start getting it into, take bigger pieces and getting them into smaller pieces so they become more manageable. Keep your hands over your knife, never under your knife. Then you will never get cut. If you never put your hand on the blade, how are you gonna get cut? All right. I incidentally think that chunky cheese, not Chuck E. Cheese, the one in that pizza chain. I don't know. I've never eaten there, but I think kids. It's like a kids thing, right? Where kids go hang out and stuff, have parties and stuff. Anyway, so. Yeah, I kind of like a little bit of chunkiness, you know, like in my cheese. And so anyway, look at this. Look how fast this happened, right? We're gonna get it. We got it down. No injuries, no nothing. Right? Get that piece, little piece, a little bit too big. All right, now, bam. Get all the stuff, that good stuff that fell on the side. Put this up there like that. I see another little piece of cheese that fell off. And the first thing I'm going to empty out is going to be, I'm going to empty out this container that I was using to freeze the cheese. Actually, I would never freeze the cheese, but my wife likes to freeze the cheese. So listen to your wife and you'll have a happy life. Now, put this over here like that. It was basically, like I said, we don't have a whole bunch of cheese, right? I think we have enough cheese to make it tasty. Taste the cheese and stuff like that. Not like a double layer of cheese. I love cheese. You know what I really love on my pizzas are, I like gorgonzola. You got any gorgonzola? Oh wow! Try a little gorgonzola on your pizza. Even blue cheese. You know, I mean, I'd even eat a brie cheese pizza. You know, I love brie. Oh, I love cheese. You know, unfortunately, it's probably not the best thing for for your circulation, high in calcium build up and stuff like that. But whatever. I'm not worried about that, to be honest with you. So now I totally screwed up. Did you guys catch it? Did you guys catch how I screwed up? I totally messed this up. This is going to be totally messed up. Unbelievable. I can't believe, I got, but we're going to make it work. All right? We're going to make it work. And if you're listening and watching, I told you we put the pizza in the oven with the vegetables before we put the cheese on, because the cheese can, oh, thank you, baby. Because the cheese will burn before you cook your dough all the way through. But I have a solution. I do have a solution.